Queensland's crossbench MPs have more than 600 pages of homework to do. The state government has introduced volumes of laws to replace the controversial VLAD legislation. The Premier says the new measures should be adopted Australia-wide. Here's state political reporter George Roberts.
Determined to end the distraction of leadership rumours,
she's obviously done the numbers and hasn't got them.
The government's not taking it to heart, instead firing back.
She crossed swords with the bloke sitting next to her and she took his job.
And making light of any rifts in the ranks.
There is a division, and that division is over whether the Broncos or the Cowboys are going to win.
But there are many things the government's taking seriously.
The Tattoo Parlours Act 2013, the Tow Truck Act 1973, the Transport Operations Passenger Transport Act 1994, the Weapons Act 1990.
It has introduced a raft of replacements for the previous government's so-called VLAD anti-bikie measures and other laws.
Why is the Premier winding back laws that are already working in Queensland and South Australia?
The government's keen to have it seen as going further.
It will deal with not just outlaw motorcycle gangs, Mr Speaker, but illicit drugs, child sexual exploitation and illicit trafficking, Mr Speaker.
The Crime and Corruption Commission was consulted on drafting the new laws and notes that so-called VLAD laws focus too much on bikies.
There's a real tendency to lose sight of the rest of the organised crime equation, and it's huge and it can't be forgotten. And the bikies, important though they are, they're only one part of that equation.
It's the crossbenchers the government has to convince they've now got a whopping 445 pages of legislation to consider. If they thought there was an easier way out, the separate summary or explanatory notes alone run to another 179 pages. It's all aimed at avoiding legal loopholes.
So often it's not until you actually practically try and enforce them and see how they work in practice that something is thrown up as to the inability of them to work. We'll be the first to make that known.
But the Premier's already flagging a nationwide approach.
Without a consistent national approach, I fear we will simply see the gangs establish themselves in other jurisdictions.
She wants all state and territory leaders to consider adopting the same laws when they meet this year. George Roberts, ABC News, Brisbane.